Let's go to Jamaica.
That you would like to be intimate with me?
A prosperous 40-year-old stockbroker named Stella Payne is raising her 11-year-old daughter Quincy by herself in California. Since she hasn't been in a relationship for a while, her friends are constantly attempting to get her a date. She hardly has time to unwind because of her hectic work schedule and parenting her son. She feels independent and doesn't want a boyfriend to complicate her life, even though her friends are often bugging her about it. Stella finally gets a break after a long period of time when she sends Quincy to spend 2 weeks with his father. She decided to go on vacation to Jamaica when she was watching a television commercial. As a result, she phones her best friend from college, Delilah Abraham, out of the blue and invites her along. However, she awakens a few minutes later and calls her again to call off the vacation. A carefree, happy woman named Delilah phones her right away and starts to insist on going on the holiday. Stella concurs after realizing that Delilah would never accept no. Using a first-class ticket, Stella lands in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where she is greeted warmly by Delilah. Delilah recommends some affluent middle-aged football players to Stella because she wants to hang out with some of the males. However, Stella wants to just enjoy her vacation by running, reading, and doing her favorite activities. Stella takes Delilah to the beach for a workout on their first day together. Stella continues running while Delilah waits behind after a few minutes of stretching. After her run, she was having breakfast when a handsome young man, Winston Shakespeare, a 20-year-old islander, approached her. She finds his powerful body attractive, but after observing his youth, she is hesitant to let him attempt anything. Although he didn't believe her when she told him her age since she didn't look like it, Winston, on the other hand, doesn't care. She declines his invitation to a nighttime pajama party. She declines Winston's invitation and attends the pajama party after having a nice swim and meeting Delilah, who calls her tight after Stella declines to meet her later. She attends the dance and meets Winston. Stella rearranged her clothes because she thought they were a bit too fancy for the event. She starts to progressively relax and dance with Winston, but she still maintains some of her reservations. After a time, the tempo of the music shifted, and Stella began to make some serious dancing moves. Delilah noticed and arrived with 2 middle-aged men that Stella didn't feel comfortable hanging out with. After making fun of her for going out with a young man, Delilah departs. When the music changed and everyone started stripping off, Stella eventually decided she didn't want to stay either and left the party. Later that evening, Delilah shows up at Stella's room and starts making jokes about Winston's age. Although she promises to keep it a secret, she urges Stella to have an affair with him. However, Stella is opposed to being with someone who is old enough to be his mother. Stella, wearing a bikini, jumps into the swimming pool when Winston sees her in the morning. After taking off his shirt, he follows her and begins hitting her, to which she responds. He says yes when she asks whether he wants to have an intimate relationship with her, but he was afraid she may change her mind at the last minute, and that didn't take long. She tells him she is old enough to be his mother once more, since she doesn't believe what she has gotten herself into. Stella promises not to bring it up after Winston, frustrated, encourages her to get it out of her system. After returning to her hotel room, Winston and Stella start kissing. He attempted to make a romantic move with ice from the ice bucket champagne, nearly ruining their moment, but they eventually fell in love and slept together. Stella starts questioning Winston about his profession after they have a nice time becoming intimate. Despite Winston's desire to become a doctor, his family is pressuring him to enroll in medical school, particularly because his father is a surgeon. He so decided to put off attending medical school and is currently seeking a summer job. Stella, on the other hand, was a young woman who was raised in the projects. Despite her desire to work in furniture, she ultimately found herself in the corporate sector as a stockbroker. She needed to earn a lot of money to leave the projects, even though her mother encouraged her to choose her path. Winston breaks the bad news to Stella just when she is enjoying his company. Winston informs her that he will be on call day and night for the remainder of the week after being employed as an assistant chef. Since she won't be seeing him as much, Stella is unhappy with this news. Winston tells her he has a 2-hour break every day, but he begs her not to do so. She then advises them to quit seeing one another while they can. When she hears his plea, she consents to continue visiting him. Later, when Stella and Delilah sit down, they talk about Winston. Stella decided to sacrifice everything for a 20-year-old boy, but she never gets to see him, so Delilah could see how angry she was. For someone her age, She feels like a desperate person. Despite Stella's decision to end her relationship with Winston, Delilah persisted in pressuring her to give him a call back. Stella tries to call Winston before leaving Jamaica, but she is unable to get through. The person on the other end of the telephone offered to take a message, but she hung up. When Stella gets home, her friends start questioning her about her liaison with Winston. They couldn't let it go, even though she tried to deny it, especially when she remained composed when she learned about her car getting scratched while she was away. One of them attempted to embarrass her, while others enjoyed it. After a merger with another company, she finds out when she gets to work that someone else has taken her place. They said they would give her a good package, but she might never return to work. When she returns home, she tells Quincy about it, and after seeing the photos of the sites she saw the last time, he begs her to take him to Jamaica. Stella, however, informs him that they are unable to attend since she needs to find employment and take on additional responsibilities. Winston called Stella when she was exercising out at home after obtaining her number from Delilah. She agrees to travel to Jamaica to visit him with Quincy after learning how much he missed her. Along with Quincy and his cousin Chantel, Stella travels to Jamaica. She introduces him to Quincy after meeting Winston, and Stella is thrilled with how well he gets along with the children. After spending a wonderful evening with him, she receives a call from Delilah, who is resting on a hospital bed. 2 years have passed since Delilah was admitted to the hospital with cancer. She doesn't want to ruin Stella's trip by saying anything though. Even though Stella and Winston are enjoying their time together, Stella is still uneasy about their relationship due to Winston's youth and lack of life experience. But Delilah tells her that life is too short to waste and urges her to be with Winston. Winston's parents, who disapprove of their son's connection with an older woman, are next shown to Stella and the children. Since he didn't inform Stella that they would be seeing his parents, she was taken by surprise. Stella spends some time at the mansion, and during a lunch, she is confronted by Winston's mother on her relationship with Winston. Stella had a serious talk with Winston after feeling embarrassed by what Winston's mother had said. She criticized him for being immature by introducing her to his parents without telling her. Winston felt let down when the topic of his age somehow came up in their chat once more. The doctor calls Stella after they return to the hotel to inform her that Delilah's cancer has progressed to her liver. Stella is devastated by the news and boards the next aircraft to New York. She attempts to make things easy for Delilah and lifts her spirits. Stella delivers a heartfelt speech about her friend, and Winston attends the burial. Winston declares his love for Stella after the funeral and takes her to California. When Stella arrived at her friend's house, she was taken aback to discover a family get-together with beverages and barbecue. Winston is eager to meet Stella's family, but she is not prepared because she intended to present him to them a few months later. Stella's friend Angela informs her that although the relationship is brief, the others encourage her. Furthermore, Stella is unaffected by what she heard this time. Instead, she likes to dance with Winston, who goes to see Walter, her ex-husband. Walter and Winston become close as they discuss Stella's obstinate nature. When Winston eventually gets at Stella's residence, Quincy gives him a tour of the house. He leads him inside a shop that does carpentry. Stella used to create some furnishings here. Stella intends to convert the room into a guest room because she hasn't used it in years. Since Stella shared her enthusiasm with him, Winston has a particular interest in this room. Quincy and Winston had a man-to-man encounter at the store. He urges him not to hurt his mother's feelings and says that Stella likes him because he was the only one she brought to their house right away. Winston, Stella, and Quincy enjoy themselves at home in the days that follow. Winston discovers Stella sobbing by herself in the middle of the night and comforts her. Stella had Winston as a shoulder to weep on, but she could never forget the loss of her dearest friend. Outside, Stella and Winston's relationship began to be put to the test, even if everything at home seemed perfect. Stella met Angela and a few of her friends while they were out to a movie, and some of the females started staring at Winston with passion. She is introduced to Spencer by Angela, who was attempting to arrange Stella's relationship. Winston looks on as Spencer makes a move on Stella. The following day, Angela confronts her at her house regarding her rudeness toward Winston. When Angela realizes Stella is serious, she apologizes, but it doesn't stop her from casting doubt on Stella's future with Winston. Stella and Winston go out on a date that evening when Winston offers to pay the tab, and Stella begins a fight. Stella is irritated by his infantile actions, such as playing video games with Quincy and watching cartoons, and he believes she is embarrassed to be seen with him. Following this altercation, Winston tells her they could break up if it becomes too hard for her and departs after paying the bills. Winston takes Stella to the furniture workshop, where he has prepared a surprise for her, after she apologizes to him after remaining silent in bed for some time. Winston equipped the shop with the newest machinery and cleaned and repaired it. In this way, he acknowledged her dream and encouraged her to follow her actual passion. Stella embraces him warmly, delighted by the surprise. When Stella's former brokerage firm calls and offers her a lucrative new job, she declines in order to try her hand at starting her own company. Winston pops the question while she was worrying about the future, and she tells him that although she really wants it, she needs some time to consider it. A week later, Winston and Stella argued because Stella had not responded to him. Quincy was involved in the altercation and supported his mother, which made this battle unique. That evening, they make love and get back together, but Winston's life is never the same. Winston informs Stella the following morning that he has chosen to attend medical school in Jamaica because he is not content with being a burden for her to handle. He bids Quincy and Stella farewell and rides in a taxi to the airport. Stella is waiting for Winston on the stairs when he arrives at the terminal. She accepts his suggestion and invites him to think about attending Stanford. Winston and Stella have a kiss as the film comes to a close, and Winston spins her around with happiness.
And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.